Hello, hello. Let's fly like a butterfly. So today we are going to be reading from only our Smith-Waite Tarot deck. I'm going to pull 10 cards and I'm just going to let the messages flow. Normally it seems like there's a story, and it can very well be, but sometimes the messages are separate. They're not necessarily one long story. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to shuffle. I'm going to do a very simple shuffle. And there we are. All right, let's get to shuffling, see what the message is. For those that are watching, I hope you are having a great day, a great month, a great year, week, hour, minute, second, millisecond. I just hope it's going great for you. I'm going to wait for the cards to pop out. I don't like to pull as much unless I feel as if I'm frivolously shuffling. So we'll let the cards come out as they may. The right card always pops out, in my opinion. While we are waiting for a card to pop out, happy Leo season, Leo and Virgo season. We're in the month of August. So many cards. Okay, we're going to take all of these, all right? So let's start here. We have the Two of Wands. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse, okay? 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands in reverse, all right? Then we have upright, we have the 5 of Pentacles, okay? Then we have the Queen of Cups upright, okay? And then we have the Empress. So, oh, it's time for me to go ahead and manifest, harvest, and reap. That's exactly what this feels like. Manifestation. Okay. Manifesting, looking into the globe, but wanting to pinpoint specific. You're holding the world in your hand. You want the world, but you are looking for something specific in the world. You know it's not feasible to have the whole world, but it's okay to shoot for the stars and land on the moon. You're manifesting something that you really, truly want, and you were not shy about going after it. Excuse the noise in the background. Then you have the 10 of Wands in reverse. The 10 of Wands in reverse gives me that it's not that hard. It's a lot. It takes work, period, to manifest. You have to put effort into it. You have to think about it constantly, because if you let your mind and your thoughts wander, you could get yourself off track, or you could just bring in the wrong person, place, or thing, or you can stay brooding in the negative energy, or just a stuck energy that will not. One, you're moving. These are wand energies. That's movement. That's going and getting it. If you bring in stuck energy, some like mud is what I feel like, mud, quicksand, because your thoughts are doubtful or you're just discouraged, you won't be able to go for the goals that you're trying to manifest. Now, the Five of Pentacles. This does feel like someone is I said messages and I was like, oh, it's not the story, but this is feeling like a story. Sorry. That's just how it comes to me. Things just start connecting after a while. But sometimes there are offshoot messages. Your motivation. You've been down before. You have felt that you felt broke, you felt broken. As you can see, they're injured. This person has a cane, their foot is broken, or crutches, their foot is broken. You are motivated by not having. And that's why I definitely feel like this 10 of Wands is in reverse, because it's not that hard. You don't want to go back here. This is the motivator. It can be where you are now, where you feel broke, but you may be in a much better situation nevertheless. What I'm seeing here from the Queen of Cups and the Empress, I immediately thought of manifest, harvest, reaping. This is reaping. This feels like reaping, where you are now, or you will be in a space where, okay, I can finally sit down and have everything that I worked for, everything that I went after, come to me. I'm good now. I can chill. I can chill for a little while. But then there's that Queen of Cups energy where you still are worrisome in a way. You are feeling that worrisome, where what if I could lose it all? But that Empress energy, I usually like the Empress card because I feel like she sits pretty. The Empress represents beauty to me. She sits pretty. Okay. We have the Five of Cups walking away. Yeah, there is a feeling of distress, worrisome, of not really feeling stable in what you obtain, and also a worry of, will I be fulfilled when I obtain what I have? I don't think you will fully feel complete, because there's more to your story. This is not a destination. And though some of these cups are knocked over, there's still two standing over here in the corner. So there is a fulfillment. You might not feel completely just, like, oh my gosh, I've just achieved this thing, because there's more. There's more to come. This doesn't feel like having to necessarily walk away. This feels like having to reflect. Reflecting like the Queen of Cups. Reflect on what you have manifested and harvested in your reaping, and being happy, content about what you have, and also understanding that this is the tip of the iceberg. There's more to come. With this 10 of Wands here in reverse, there is going to, again, it's not going to be that hard, but it's still going to be obstacles. And this is so on brand for Saturn being in retrograde until December, the first week of December, I believe, because there's going to be challenges, and you're going to, it's very, Saturn is about achieving and reaching the goals that you set, but Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. And those are two signs that can just be a little bit more dry, like celebrate your achievements, but it's not in a very upbeat kind of cheery way. Now, I'm not saying that Capricorns and Aquarius aren't cheery, but Saturn's, just the planet itself, is more dry. It's not so much oh my gosh, like everything is great. It's Okay, now I achieved that goal. What's next? And I feel like you may be feeling that. The Saturn retrograde has you doing that. And it also possibly has you going back to moments where you tried to cut corners and it didn't work out. If you're a Pisces, you're going to have a rough time with this transit. I'm just letting you know that right now. If you're a Pisces and you are trying to find the easy way out, Saturn retrograde is going to teach you about going through it. There's no other way to get through it. There's no other way to complete it except going through the hard times, but you still will achieve something. You'll still reap the rewards. You'll sit pretty. Okay, you'll sit pretty. It's just not going to be that feeling. And for some people, I think this can put you in a not so fun space and place. Okay, where you're not understanding why you're not as upbeat as you used to be, and maybe people around you, even with you obtaining and achieving your goals, it could come off as a really strange time. Hang in there for those that resonates with. Oh, look at that, 3 cards. Yeah. 10 of Swords in reverse. Death. I like this. 10 of Cups. Yeah, there is a feeling of, as I just mentioned before, you may be experiencing this change that Saturn is putting you through with this retrograde. There's a bunch of other transits, but Saturn can be quite a force. Quite a force, okay? And if you are in the midst of being motivated by, I'm not going back to being broken or broke, literally or figuratively, you acting in this manner of manifesting and getting what you want, but emotionally, you're on to the next thing. You're not necessarily celebrating as much as you thought you would, especially coming from this space where it's like, oh, shoot, I did it. There is, and I like that Death and 10 of Swords came out because now you're changing. It's going to be a time of transformation for you. I said Saturn. For some reason, I am getting heavy Saturn signs. Like you might have a prominent Capricorn or Aquarius marker, or Saturn is aspected quite a bit and makes an impact in your chart where you're feeling this. And you're transforming. If you do have heavy Aquarius, Pluto is in Aquarius right now, and that's where I feel like this transformation is happening. Okay, it is definitely a space where you are changing. You are changing. You could be, if you are 28, maybe even 27 to 30, you could be going through a Saturn return. And you possibly have been in a space where you, in your younger years, were not necessarily the best student, the best partner, the best, just in your mind, the best at what it is you wanted. And now you're getting there. And that feeling of, oh my gosh, I got to this place is there. It's just not what you thought it would be. And there is this transformation happening that is great, but you're not going to be recognizable. This 10 of Cups does not feel outward at all. This feels like an opening to self, a recognition to self, a celebration of self. It's a great card though. It's a fantastic card because everything that this feels like internal, because you're motivated by something that maybe you told the story about why you're motivated and how you felt broken and to close family and friends, but it's still you are taking the steps, the story, what you want, what it is that you like to achieve. So this transformation that you're going through, you are going to appreciate yourself more. You're going to appreciate yourself more. It's not to say that people outside won't and that you won't get that external validation, but you are going to really appreciate yourself more. It's going to be more so like, I am proud of the things that I've manifested and been able to go after, and I know I can do it. But I'm actually just more proud of myself for getting up and doing it, and recognizing all of these strengths that I possess that I didn't know I had. So now this 10 of Cups is, I'm celebrating me. I appreciate me. And that's why I feel like this is not a destination. That 5 of Cups is temporary. You will continue, depending on how you view yourself, the ups and downs that you go through, to experience a 10 of Cups, but that's your perspective. How are you going to take the setbacks? We're going to say, ooh, okay. Like, come on. 8 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it definitely feels like I just said, how are you going to experience the setbacks? This is where you multiple results can be rendered, and one of the results, though it still is a show of what you can do, you still won't necessarily feel as happy. Like it's everything that's happening now. It's not about the material thing. It's about the internal. It's about, what can I do? I know I can now do this. Great. It's great to be able to not be in the 5 of Pentacle energy. To have what you need, to have the resources you need, to not feel broke again or be broke. But everything that's happening right now is very internal, and the mundaneness of that is why I feel like you have these type of cards, the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups in reverse, because it was never about fully the results, the material things. It was about you. It was about you. Because though it's people in this card and everything, you get to this place because this is how you feel on the outside. This comes from, but you only feel this way on the outside when you have checked yourself on the inside. When this is what's on the inside is going to come out on the outside. This happiness, it doesn't come from what you were able to manifest. You chilling. I mean, you feel you're good, you're content, but you're chilling. But there's happiness, there's joy that comes from the inside once you recognize, oh, I can do that. And I did it, but sometimes I have to walk away. It's not going to be the best for me. This is about me, not about it, whatever that you receive. You might say, I set a goal to make $1 million in a year and a half. You make the $1 million in a year and 2 months. Okay? Now what? Now you see you can do it. Now you up the ante. Again, I said it's not a destination, it's a journey. So I think that the fact that you are going to continue to move forward kind of brings you this somberness that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It really brings you back to self to see what's the most important. You. There's this again, this feels like the transformation that's happening because your mind was already in the space of I want the world. I don't have to work that hard for it. I was motivated. This is what's getting me pushing. I'm not going to be broke again. And now you're like, yep, I got it. I can do it. But dang, when I got there, I just didn't feel like I thought I would. Now there's a transformation. You realize it was really about me this whole time. And as I continue to move forward in this journey, there will be some setbacks. As I said, you'll experience more of these 10 of Cups. But you have to go within for that. Okay? If you resonated with this reading, I'm glad you did. If you did not, release it into the universe for those who it did. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.